Be careful when making decisions, in particular when it comes to the actual month of January 2022, because you know what? The whole month is going to be like a huge, massive, enormous, giant learning experience. So you're going to be learning all the way through a lot about things around you, but most importantly, quite a lot about yourself. By the time you get to the actual last week of January 2022, you are most certainly going to reach a very powerful week of your own personal enlightenment, because there is so much that you're going to learn, so much that you're going to become aware of up until that moment in time. So when it comes to making decisions, do you know what? It's going to be like a little bit here and a little bit there. From the beginning of the month, you're going to find yourself being rather, first of all, indecisive. Like it's going to come from you, like a very much so your subconscious mind is going to kind of try to let you know about something very specific. But then again, at the same time, you know, every single time when, you know, you want to make a certain decision, what you need to understand, very importantly, above all, is that literally within the next couple of days, something is going to happen, something is going to take place. You are going to find yourself on a certain crossroads, and then and there is so much that you're going to learn yet again about the situation that you had just a few days beforehand. So this is why it's important not to rush into anything, because the whole month is going to be like that. You will want to do something, you will want to start something, you will want to create something, but then at the same time, you know, you're going to find yourself having a particular blockage right in front of you, because subconsciously you're going to feel like something is coming up, something different, something quite, you know, different to what you were thinking about, some kind of feeling and emotion that you're not going to be able to explain. And then a few days later, you will see that there is so much that you're going to find out about that specific subject, which is going to open your mind in the best possible way and make you aware of things that you weren't aware of at this moment in time. So there are a lot of informations that you will gather throughout this month. So this is why it's like strictly important to really, if you want to make certain decisions, if you want to make certain progress, if you want to kind of pay attention to the certain direction in your life, you want to kind of if you want to make a step towards the unknown or step towards the new direction, then the last week of January 2022 is most certainly going to be a big mama, because by then, I don't even know how to stress this, I don't even know how to explain this properly. You know, I'm trying to be as passionate as I possibly can, because this is the energy that I feel. Your passion is going to come back and it's going to revive you, but it's the knowledge, the sacred knowledge that you are going to have, that is going to be primarily responsible for one of the biggest progresses in your life. Okay, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Sagittarius, and it's for January 2022. So this monthly horoscope tarot card forecast is for you, my gorgeous Sagittarini, and it's for January 2022. So you need to just remember to take one step at a time and don't rush with anything, because literally, you know, whatever you put your mind towards, whatever you focus on, you know, with this sacred energy, which is going to give you such an enormous power, psychic power, you will be able to connect from a much higher angle. And once you do this, you know, you will find out specific things about the subjects, you know, in your life that are pretty much so important to you, that you must know, you need to know at this moment in time. When it comes to your number, my gorgeous Sagittarini, when it comes to your number, it's number 94. Number 94, it's rather interesting number, but it's also very mysterious number, because it's about to bring you a really unusual situation into your life. And the unusual situation that you are going to have, it's about you realizing something, it's about you seeing something that you didn't see before, but it's also about you kind of like becoming aware of something very unusual, very mysterious and very sinister, you know. But at the same time, you know, on one hand you're going to be like oh yeah, like a little bit surprised, but then on another hand, you know, you're just going to be like, oh well, nothing surprises me anymore. It's going to be that particular situation kind of around this energy. But at the same time, why is this so important to you? Because it is just going to inspire you even more, you know. It's going to inspire you where you need to be inspired with your life, and through this situation you will realize how much you actually want to move on, how much you want to do things that you want to do, how much much you want to express yourself the way you want to express yourself. Almost like a very heavy karmic chains are about to be released, you know, this month. And you will see that it was a lot, you know, in the power of your mind. There is so much that you can do, but you just have to stay in tune with yourself, and you have to stay true to yourself, because this in itself, that situation will be important, that you're going to become aware of sinister, mysterious, bizarre and strange, la la la, you know. But that situation is at the same time going to be primarily responsible when it comes to you finally being ready, you know, for the opportunity that you worked for, that you were planning for, that you were waiting. So this is pretty much so a very strong part of your life, in particular very highlighted it was over the last 7 to 8 months indeed. So it's about a new plan, you know, it's a new plan about how to get somewhere where you wanted to get before. Okay, but it's not as new, because you kind of like a pretty much so that was on your mind for the last 7 or 8 months. So it's pretty much so to do with your own unique progress in life, but also giving a chance to yourself to go forward with your life. And sometimes even if things seems like completely weird and bizarre, as they actually at the moment are, very dark energy indeed, and then you just have to be the one who's just going to basically carry on your own light instead of just giving it to somebody else. So this is something that you must most importantly, you need to remember. But the bottom line is, it's about this plan, which is just going to make, it's just what you wanted to do over the last 7 or 8 months, but now it's just stepping forward with it, you know. But at the same time, it's just also, it's going to give you hope, it's going to give you inspiration, it's going to give you so much confidence in order to step towards the part of your life that you feel so much of kind of uncertainty with your life ahead when it comes to the future planning. But it's all about following your own intuition, which is just most certainly not going to lead you astray, you know. It's about the inspiration also from somebody very successful, and somebody who you think that is quite successful, and somebody that you really look up to. That particular person is meant to be in your life, and that particular person is also going to tell you something. They're going to come up with something, and this is going to actually even going to inspire you even more, because there is this specific little idea, realization that you're going to have through somebody who really kind of motivates you in so many different ways, you know. So this person is also going to play an important role when it comes to this motivation, because through them you're going to realize that, you know, where you were kind of blocking yourself or preventing yourself to move forward, you know, this particular person is going to inspire you. On another hand, you know, you are going to also have a news where you're going to kind of like feel a little bit of a partial loss and a little bit of regret, you know. And this in itself is pretty much so to do with the part of your life that it's very kind of, you feel it's imperfect and it's not connected to very good energy. So which means that a certain part of your life slowly came to an end. So what you need to do is just kind of try to realize and recognize what is making you really worried, because now it's draining your energy to the point where it's affecting really your way of thinking big time. And the energy of January is like a big mama energy. It's like a brilliant energy, because it helps you to start things, you know. It helps you to kind of push things through, you know. It helps you to go over like a rocks and the bridges with like a very kind of dark water underneath that you would be scared to cross normally. So this is what the energy of January is doing. It just gives you that like a relevant push, you know, to go towards somewhere, towards a certain aspect in your life that you feel very passionate about. So just don't forget that. This is very important, you know. So you need to just recognize what part of your life is just really kind of made you so worried and made you so uncertain, you know. And now you just need to kind of deflect from that, because it's just kind of like you need to really pay attention to what you focus on from this moment onwards, because certain things you're going to become aware of that they are just basically just like kind of like a really draining your energy. They become very toxic when you're like constantly like focusing on something like this, you know. It's things that are making you feel worried, and the things that are making you feel negative, things that are making you feel uneasy. You really need to put a stop to this, and what you need to do in order to protect your spirit, protect your soul, protect your body, is just to cut yourself off from the things that don't have anything to do with you, but are just making you feel very dark and negative. So this is something that you need to pay attention to, because as soon as you do this, you are gonna become aware of like the part of your life, you know, that kind of disappointed you a little bit, because you know it's just pretty much so connected to the actual rather bitter experience. But then at the same time, it is just going to help you realize a very, very big answer, you know, to your question. You're gonna get through this, you know, when it comes to like what you should be doing next and what to pay attention to and what to focus on, and you know, in your life, you know, things that make you feel good, things that make you feel successful, things that bring peace and tranquility into your life. And don't forget that there is going to be huge, massive, enormous, giant question that you're going to be asking yourself, and this giant question was in your mind over the last 13 to 14 months as well. 13th to 14th month, you know, there's a certain question that you're going to wonder, and you need to understand that there is going to be you are going to have the answer to that question, most certainly. But what you need to remember, that at the same time you have to seek balance and create a rather calm atmosphere, because this is going to reflect on you. It's going to reflect on your way of thinking, way of planning in the best possible and the most possible way. And also, my gorgeous Sagittarini, what you need to remember, that, you know, it's just all about the patience, because by the time you get to the actual last part of January 2022, I really like this so much, because it's all about this idea that you're going to take on the whole next level. It's all about you feeling so inspired. It's about you feeling so good. It's about you feeling so brilliant. And there are going to be so many signs that are going to be pointing out, you know, the specific part of your life that you need to stay on it. You need to stay on the certain path that you already are, because that particular path is also going to bring you really incredible success into your life. So you will feel very inspired by things that makes you feel good in the last week of January 2022. And this is something that you should be paying attention to. This is something that is going to revive you and rejuvenate you. And it's also, my Lord, going to bring you like a healing energy. Very important, my Sagittarians, indeed. And also, what else I was going to say, when it comes to the actual health and nutrition and things like that, please try to drink as much as you can organic dandelion tea. But if you get organic dandelion tea, just make sure that you are using the whole the tea made of the whole plant and the root as well. The whole thing would be absolutely superb, because it's going to help you to flush out the toxins out of the system, and it's going to help you to feel so much better. It's something that energetically you will find this rather beneficial, but don't spoil it by putting like a sugar in this tea. You know how much I hate sugar. I can't stand sugar. I cut sugar out of my life like a long time ago, and I never looked back. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible ingredient, and it's worse than like the worst drug that there is, actually, sugar. That's how vile sugar is. So try to like kind of like, if you have to sweet it with something, you have to use something like organic honey, or maybe like organic maple syrup, you know, rather than the actual sugar. And honey and organic maple syrup are actually going to be really good for you, because they're going to give you energy as well. So this is something I would really suggest you to drink. And also throughout the month of January, it's going to help you to cleanse yourself rather nicely. And also at the same time, I would like to suggest you something like a natural B vitamin complex to take every single morning, just one, you know, because the reason why to take it in the morning, because it's going to re-energize you. It's going to be good for a little bit of stress that you will be going through, because you're going to be thinking about quite a lot. So this is going to be brilliant. And also it's going to feed your brain, like literally. It's going to be beneficial for your energy. It's going to re-energize you when you take it the first thing in the morning. And it's also going to be beneficial for your entire digestive system. Your digestive system is going to be a little bit sensitive, so this is what this B vitamin complex is going to do. But also at the same time, you just need to remember that this is also gonna really gonna be beneficial for your energy and so many other things as well. What you also must not forget, when you get a natural vitamin B complex, then make sure that the actual folic acid within this complex is made as a folate instead of folic acid. So folate is the same like a folic acid, it's just that the folate is made in a natural way, and folic acid is no baby no. And also when it comes to vitamin B12, within this vitamin B complex, complex of vitamin B12 needs to be made as the actual methylcobalamin, which is the natural version of this vitamin B complex. So this is this particular vitamin B12. So this is something I really need you to pay attention to, because otherwise you just get like a vitamins with chemicals in, and it's like, again, no baby, no. If you're on any other medications, if you are pregnant or if you are breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor, you just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now going on the very first date that I would like to recommend you, my gorgeous Sagittarini, but before I go there, I would highly recommend you this gorgeous new pendant that I have, and it's a strawberry quartz. It's a very, very powerful, it has got a very powerful energy to stimulate a flow of happiness. It helps us to think positively. It helps us to think good. When we are worrying a lot, you know, there is the very heavy energy that can, oh my lord, take over, and sometimes you, my gorgeous Sagittarians, you can be quite sensitive, because you can like kind of feel the energy around you on a very large, on a very kind of high scale, high level. So you can't really help with this, but it's the way things are at the moment. It makes you worry. It makes you like a worry, but that same energy kind of can work against you, because it can slow you down and it can kind of bring lots of blockages as well. So this is absolutely fantastic to have every single time when you feel really low, you feel really down, and every single time when you need that little push, something to re-energize you throughout January and February, even March 2022. This is going to be so important to wear. This comes with a gorgeous sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. So now, my gorgeous Sagittarini, the first date that I would like to recommend to you, it will be the 3rd of January, baby. But it's the 1st and the 2nd of January. You know, there is something that is just going to come to you out of the blue, and you're not going to be able to explain where this is coming from, these feelings, these emotions. Like, you're going to feel like some kind of like a little warning, like you're going to feel like something is just like kind of coming up, or but you're not going to be able to explain what this is. But very quickly, by the time the 3rd of January happens, you will know exactly in which part of your life do you need to pay attention to. Okay, when it comes to this warning, you're going to become aware of the actual maybe like some kind of bad choice or poor risk, you know, bad choice, poor risk, some kind of bad choice to kind of pay attention to. And that particular bad choice, it's also gonna have an influence, an impact on you when you're gonna find yourself rather indecisive. You're not gonna be indecisive for too long, because this is the energy that it's going to start. This is the energy that this energy is going to start up. So it's very important. You're not going to be indecisive for too long, but it's worth to pay attention. What do you feel indecisive about in between the 3rd of January and the 12th of January 2022 specifically? So it's in between the 3rd of January and the 12th of January. It's worth to really pay attention to and note what do you feel indecisive about, because you are going to have a very kind of a moment that is going to bring such a powerful influence into your life, because suddenly you're going to become very sharp and quick. And at around the 12th of January, the 13th of January 2022, by then you're going to find yourself like, oh my god, thinking about this specific thing, but that specific thing that made you indecisive is just going to play an absolutely giant big mama role when it comes to you finding yourself like on a very sacred stage. When it comes to your life, you're going to find yourself on a spiritual quest where you will most certainly want more out of life. You will see what is becoming boring and what is becoming horrible and what is becoming awful, and you will just be like, come on, bye darling, you know, type of thing like that. So this is important, to release what no longer serves you, but also to ignore things that became so toxic when it comes to absorbing way too much negativity around. So you're going to find yourself on the spiritual quest, and even more so, what that spiritual quest is going to bring, it's going to bring you very powerful recognition. The very powerful path in your life is going to be recognized. An important path ahead will be recognized. So this is a big mama moment, and this is what you also need to pay attention to within the very last week in January 2022. The second important date, my gorgeous Sagittarini, but before I go there, I would highly suggest you seraphim it. Absolutely gorgeous, another new pendant, and this is very, very healing for nerves and brain, and also it helps to kind of, for the old patterns, you know, of negativity, the old blockages to kind of be removed, to fall away as well. So this is very important to wear, especially when we want like kind of new energy, new vibration, when we want to feel re-energized, but also specifically, my lord, at this time, you know, specifically for January, February and March, this is like a very powerful crystal, because at the beginning of this year, when the energy is so sharp, you can just also shed lots of negativity that just ended up being attached within your own energy. So this gorgeous seraphinite, it's also new crystal in my store. This comes with sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. You will see, and by buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well, I have to say that. The second important date, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So it's in between the 13th and the 17th of January. This is these few days, it's like all about, my God, you need to understand that there is going to be a very special magic around you, like literally magic. You will have a very sacred ability here. You need to make the most of it. Have a sacred ability to learn as much as you can, to find out as much as you can, to absorb as much as you can, to focus on things that you want to further in your life, to focus on the next step, because this is to do with a particular task in your life, to stay committed to the task at hand. Now it's more important than ever. It's to do with things that you have been focusing on, that you were trying to achieve, that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel good, but the energy is going to be quite thick, so you will not be able to understand, oh my God, is it up or down? And I'm just telling you that this thick energy is just maybe going to confuse things a little bit, so in such a way where you're going to find yourself in just a little bit of emotional confusion, like lots of questions, answers, like it's a lot going to be on your mind. And Sasha said to you, stay committed to the task at hand, okay? It's more important than ever, and the more confusing and strange and bizarre energy is, you're going to get more out of it, and this is why this is so important. And also on another hand, the more committed to the task at hand you are, the more active you're going to become, the more determined you're going to become. And this is all about this absolutely mind-blowing idea. This is where this idea is going to be on your mind, but you may not even be able to tell this, but the last week of January is just really literally going to be about so many signs around a certain idea that it's going to be impossible to ignore. But in between the 13th and the 17th of January, this is when this great determination is going to start, you know, in form of activity, determination, initiative, strength, and this is going to be followed by you feeling very powerful and successful, and these feelings and emotions that you will have are going to create yet another deep emotional feeling within you. So you're going to find yourself again on that conquest, you know, spiritual quest. This is absolutely brilliant. You know, you're going to find yourself like in life where transition and change is going to take place, especially when it comes to the actual reversal of those things in life that are making you feel really bored. And this is what I'm talking about, why this is so important. It's about abandonment, and it's also about making a sacrifice in terms of readjustment in your life, and this is going to lead towards your own rebirth, but also at the same time pay attention to the actual ideas that you're going to be getting by people who think like you, or by people who think alike, and things like that. And also on another hand, in between the 13th and the 17th of January, you can expect like very much so, very powerful compromise. So if you have to like kind of like discuss something with someone really important, you know, you need to remember that the energy is most certainly going to be on your side, okay? The third important date, my gorgeous Sagittarini, it's going to be on the 31st of January. So now the 31st of January, it's pretty much so about the actual, your own practical knowledge, you know, your own practical knowledge. It's also going to be your strength. Just remember this. Don't listen to her, don't listen to him, don't listen to her, don't listen to him, don't listen to her. Your practical knowledge, it's also going to bring you the answer. This is what you need to pay attention to, your practical knowledge, and also rather important negotiation yet again it's going to take place. And this negotiation that I'm talking about, it's connected to somebody in your life who is important to you, who means to you, like a mother, brother, sister, father, boyfriend, girlfriend, blah 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 blah, you know, but somebody who means to you so much, somebody whom you are like emotionally connected to, you know. Very important negotiation. And negotiation that you need to understand here is that sometimes, you know, people think differently, and sometimes we just have to like kind of step back and just maybe let two people do what they want to do, type of thing, you know. So you just kind of have to like pay attention to that. But also on another hand, you know, this is going to be connected to the like maybe you talking, discussing something and realizing that this is to do with the discontinuance of like a certain effort, you know, abandonment of the previous plans, you know. So but it's to do with you and somebody who means to you so much. And important in discussion is so needed here, my gorgeous Sagittarini, because you're gonna realize also, you know, what else you should be paying attention to when it comes to the certain effort to continue until full success is attained. You see, that in itself, it's going to really open your eyes. It's going to help you to understand where you are at the moment at this point in your life and what to do with your future. But most importantly, it's about the control over situation and strength that you're going to have in order to have the necessary courage here to actually do something, you know, in your life that is just going to bring you absolutely brilliant accomplishment later on. What you also need to remember on the 31st of January, my gorgeous Sagittarini, that, you know, and it's not only the 31st of January, but what is quite important throughout the month, you know, to remember, it's 31st of January, yeah, also kind of try to not to have a conflicts with people, especially those people who have a completely opposed and a completely different opinions to you. Okay, this is very important for you to remember, because, you know, not only on the 31st of January, but throughout the months of January 2022, you're going to come across a lot of people who are having very strong opinion, and they have a very much so opposed opinions to you. And there is absolutely no point to actually even try to argue or discuss or having an argument or something like that, because you're just not going to be able to understand each other. You're so far this way, these other people whom you're going to come in touch with are going to be so far on the other side. So this is why I just want you to understand, to basically just pay attention to your ambition rather, and walk away from any kind of like a drama or something that you may come across this week, this month, throughout this month, because this is all part of your challenge. Did you really think that I'm going to forget this? Did you really? Raise your vibration, baby. Raise your vibration. Sagittarini, Sagittarini, Sagittari, Sagittari, Sagitterini, 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 Sagittari, Sagittari, Sagitterini, pam 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 param pam pam param parara pam para pam pa 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 pararam pam 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 param pam pam param parara pam para pam pa pa para para pam 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 param pam pam param parara pam para pam pa 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 para pam. Did you really think that I'm going to forget your little Sagittarini song? Come on, Sagittarini, I love you. So now let me just see what to pay attention to in the first part of January, mid-January, and the last part of January. So the first part of January, focus on First of all, release situations and people that no longer serve you. Release situations and people that no longer serve you, but especially situations. Just remember, my babies, just ignore things that are draining your energy, that are so toxic, just ignore them. And also, on another hand, this is an absolutely great time to actually focus on career, focus on finances, focus on the next step if you are retired, you focus on the next stage, what you want to do, what are you focusing on, why you can't do what you want to do. Just in general, just focus pretty much so on the next step in your life, because there are a lot of ideas that you're going to have as well. The mid part of January, my gorgeous Sagittarini, it's pretty much so, it's just like you're gonna just find out something so beautiful about your life. Something sudden is going to happen, something really beautiful, something really gorgeous, something very special is about to enter your life that you're gonna start loving, you're gonna start liking. This is going to change your life, and it's also going to help you to understand so much about yourself. So pay attention to the mid-January as well. The last part of January, it's all about you pretty much so being so excited, and but you also have to remember to be patient and to go one step at a time. This is something that I need you to remember, to wait for the perfect timing. Okay, this is quite important. On another hand, when it comes to the actual Sagittarius in relationship, now this is a brilliant month for those of you who are in relationship, because I can see that a very kind of big problem, very big obstacle is finally going to slowly start resolving itself. This is so important because this was draining the energy out of both of you so much. So this is going to be an important month when it comes to the quite interesting stepping point that you're both going to go over. And by the time you get to the actual last part of this month, it's just a certain change that you will want to do, you will want to make, you will want to create, you will want to face, So the whole month is going to be pretty much so about a negative situation slowly coming to an end, but most importantly, the change that you're both going to become aware of by the end of the month that you will want to kind of find yourself at, okay? Be part of. Now, when it comes to those of you, my gorgeous Sagittarians, who are single and ready to mingy, it's just basically, what you need to understand is that you need to let someone go here. So again, I'm seeing this second time now. You need to let someone go. This is very important, which means that you're still kind of emotionally feeling attached to someone. You're feeling emotionally like you are maybe part of someone, but you kind of shouldn't be, because karmically that came to an end, and you will see who this is. Maybe it was just like not that long ago when you had like a bit of like a stranger in the night, Sagittarini in the morning, na 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 na, stranger in the night, Sagittarini in the morning. Maybe it was a bit of a stranger in the night, Sagittarini in the morning moment, and then you were like, oh, he's gorgeous, she's gorgeous, but then again, it was just that moment, type of thing. Or maybe you had a little bit of kissy with someone, and then you were like, oh my god, they're amazing, or maybe you just like kind of saw someone and felt like a really special connection. Whatever it is, this person is meant to be part of something really much higher than that, much more important than that. Love, of course, is the most powerful energy in the universe. The love is the most powerful energy, of course. But this is the learning process that you are going to have, specifically when it comes to your spiritual journey. So this, you need to recognize who this is. Maybe you're going to come across that person, you need to let them go. Maybe you're going to just think about someone and then suddenly, oh, this person comes to your mind. Oh my God, no, oh my God, and then you just need to kind of realize, no, it's not the right person for me. That this is like almost like a mini ritual that you are going to have at the same time, which is going to release you, from the place that you shouldn't be anymore. And this is some kind of lesson that you will learn through that person, because the next person that is going to come through into your life, which is going to happen in February and March, is also very, very promising, when it comes to someone very special, very kind of new and and very important to walk into your month, into your life, you see, this is all like kind of preparation for that, because that person is going to be slightly different to who you would normally go for. So this is when things are going to start becoming really, really interesting indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Sagittarini, I love every single one of you so much, and I wish you the happiest year 2022. And now let's just project as much as we possibly can positive energy towards this year, so it doesn't end up being like 2021, you know. So basically, yeah, my gorgeous Sagittarinis, I wish you all the best in the year 2022. Try to stay happy, try to stay optimistic. By staying happy and optimistic, you know, you stay on top of things. Please do stay on top of things. I love you so much. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous Sagittarinis. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye. Midnight, know the sound from the pavement. Has the moon lost her memory? She's smiling alone. In the lamplight, the withered leaves collect at my feet, and the wind begins to moan. Memory, all alone in the moonlight, I can dream of the old days. Life was beautiful then. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. Sagittarini, I love you.